I'm sitting here with my friend Cata that I didn't know until a couple of months ago. I saw him on the internet on YouTube and sent him a message, and he responded, and we've communicated and gotten to know each other. And the very first evening I was here this year, back on March 31st, we met and had a good time one evening talking for a couple of hours. And so now we're in his home village, and that village is called
Fratostita.
Fratostita.
Yeah, it is
Did
good.
I say that right? Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh. And Cata is a senior in college, and he's studying
Environmental science.
environmental science.
Yeah.
Okay? And he's also a musician, and he sings and plays guitar, and he's a worship leader. And we've just been inside the church recording a song.
Yeah.
And Cata has a very, very unique testimony because I was stunned when he told it to me. He's actually a miracle child, a miracle person. He shouldn't be here right now, and I want him to tell us this testimony, tell us why.
Okay, should I start?
Sure.
Well, it all happened about 21 years ago. My parents had at that time 4 children. I was about to be the fifth, and on that period of Romania and the presidents and the communism who was at the power that time, you weren't supposed to have more than 4 children. And I was supposed to be the fifth, as I told you, and my parents wanted me aborted. They did. And my mom and dad told me that they did everything they could to try to miscarry me. And my mother took all kind of pills, of injections, and she was told to wait about 2 or 3 days until it will be effective. And she waited 1 month, 2 months, more than 2 months, and I wasn't dead. Yes, they were absolutely wondering. My father told actually to my mom, Doina is my mom, this kid is gonna be an ill kid, is gonna have many handicaps, maybe you'll born it and he'll be dead, and what did we do in front of God? We did a big sin. Yes, but I was born alive, as you see now. I'm alive and kicking.
Glory.
Yeah. Yes, I'm alive, and as you see, I don't have too many handicaps. It's true, my ears are a little bit big, but I'm okay with them.
You can grow your hair a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, but the greatest thing is that, in my belief is, and I'm not proud at all when I say this, is that I'm a miracle. Mm-hmm. And you know that, because he told me I'm a miracle. And having the opportunity of serving God and singing in churches and leading worship is just another miracle that he allows me to be in my life, and he gives it to me. And after I was born, at about 2 or 3 years, my parents came back to Christ, and we started going to church. And by the way, this is my dad. You can see him. After we came back to Christ, 3 years later, God worked in my father's life, in my mother's life. She was the first one to come to the church, I remember that Dad told me that he was laughing when he saw my mother praying or singing. Because he had no idea about what was going to happen with her, what was she doing, and so on. So later, one of my oldest brothers came back to Christ, and I remember he told him to my father, at least that's what my father says, that Christy told him, "Dad, I love being with Christ." And my father was like, "What is this kid talking about?" I mean, this is coming from a child, and I, at 39 years old, I think, 39 de ani avea atunci, nu? Când te-ai întors. At 39 years old, I have nothing to do with God. And he repented, and then after my birth, 4 other children came up, and we're 9 now, and God took care of everything until now. And trying to tell you about the first promise I did to God. It was at about 12 or 13 years. I was on a field, as you can see here, green, or you don't really see too much green. I was on a field with my cow. I was so happy when we received that cow, actually, not car. And but when I heard that I'll have to be the one that was going to feed her, right? I wasn't as much as happy as I thought I would be. And one time I lost the cow, and my father usually was beating me when I lost it, because it happened too many times. I usually went to play football, not to care about the cow, and many times I lost them. So one time I lost the cow, and was thinking, I'm not going to get back home because my dad is gonna wait me and he's gonna beat me hard, and I don't wanna do this again. So I started searching that cow. I went in 3 villages around and asked them, "Hello, did you see a beautiful cow? It was black, it was white, it had a star in front." They were like, "No, we haven't seen such an animal." So I was like, "Oh yeah, I know what's gonna happen," but it didn't happen this way. I know that those moments I came in front of God. The dew was on the grass. It was late at night, at about 11 p.m. and said, "God, if you'll help me find this cow, I promise I'll serve you all of my life." Yes, that was a simple promise that I did, and you won't imagine, but the cow was home. Yes, it was home, and my mother was crying for me, Cata, come back home." I didn't want to answer. Finally, I did. I said, "Yes, Mom," and she was like, "Come back home. The cow is here." And I was so happy about it that 1 year later, when I was 14, I was baptized, and I started having a personal relationship with God, and it was great.